to Hyper Growth channel. Today we're going to talk about Agile Growth Marketing. What is it and how to implement it? Agile Growth Marketing is our STAR methodology, and it all consists on growth through active experimentation. It helps you discover what works in each channel, analyze learning costs, and determine ROI on each and every experiment. But let's start by what the methodology is about. We always set up first the key KPIs for each and every business. The KPIs should be the main metrics that bring us growth. It can be either contacts or users or transactions, whatever it is, that is a clear indicator that we are growing in the right direction. Once we have the KPIs, we set up goals, and then we ideate drivers, which are hypothetical ways to achieve these goals. Each driver can be approved or rejected through experiments, and the drivers that worked are being scaled up through campaigns. So once we have KPIs, we establish SMART goal. We want them to be specific, oriented on increment of one of the key KPIs, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. If our goals are not SMART, then we cannot really say directly whether we've done everything possible in order to achieve it, especially if the goals are unrealistic in a specific time. Once we have our goals, we define growth funnel for our business. What is acquisition for us? Is it lead generation? Is acquisition direct user acquisition? Or maybe we consider acquisition as traffic. I don't like to consider traffic acquisition, but hey, whatever works for your business, it's your rules. You have to think about what best describes growth for you. Activation can be anything. It could be finished onboarding process in a platform or in a SaaS. It could be users that are already leads and becoming sales qualified leads. You need to map it for your business to make the most sense. Retention is avoiding customer churn, so making sure that our customers are not going to abandon us. So retention can mean either still paying for a SaaS subscription, it can mean using even occasionally agency services, or it could be being active in a newsletter and buying discounted items every 3 months or so. Your churn is going to be different than other companies' churn, especially if your clients are not supposed to be buying from you every week or every day or even every month. So you need to think well how you calculate churn and what do you consider retention in your business. Revenue is everything we do to increment revenue for our business. It could be cross-selling, upselling, new partnerships on a revenue share basis, or even MAAs, or exploring new markets for setting up a business internationally. And finally, referrals are the key for what's normally considered a growth hacking technique. It's making sure that your current customers are bringing new customers with them through referrals. Once you define the growth funnel, you ideate drivers to experiment with. So this could be something like newsjacking for targeted acquisition, or new user experience onboarding to improve activation. Maybe you wanted to test out churn alerts to increase retention, or smart clustering for better revenue. Or maybe you're having a SaaS business and you're considering freezing the account in exchange for small payment instead of just canceling it as an option for your users. Or maybe you want to test ambassadors program or member get member program as a referral. These would be your drivers. And this is where the intelligence and the consulting part of the methodology takes place, because the drivers are different ways which we want to test, in which we believe that could be actually game changers for our business. And then experiments are little chunks of this concept that we're going to use in order to validate or reject the driver. Once we have drivers, we are starting ideation process to think about different experiments to validate and reject them. We start with an idea, then we turn the ideas that are having the best I score, we'll see what it is on the next slide, into experiments. We're learning from experiments, gathering results, making a decision, and then having new ideas to test based on the decisions. Our prioritization model is ICE. We're going to take into account impact, confidence, and ease. And this is borrowed from Chanel's methodology. And this is a great simplification to know what experiments we can actually test, especially when we have a lot of ideas. So first, we're going to think about what will be the overall impact of this if successful. What's the possibility of success, and how many resources would this experiment take? We're gonna set up a score from 1 to 10 for each of them, and then we're gonna have a wonderful score from 1 to 1,000, which is going to be our I score. We're going to multiply impact by confidence by ease, and this is going to give us the score with which to prioritize which experiments we're going to implement first. And then we just do this, we just experiment. You can see that we have different I scores, we have different experiments that have been already executed, most of them were free in this case, and we have great canvas in which we can see what worked on what didn't, and then validate the drivers that are actually working, and thinking about scaling them up and rejecting those that were for any reason not a fit for our business.